New today, British citizens will be the first in the world to receive the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine. This comes after the United Kingdom became the first country in the world to approve the vaccine from Pfizer and BioNTech. The U.S. is still looking at Pfizer's vaccine as well as a different one from Moderna. And this morning, we learned Pfizer's vaccine could be delivered in less than 2 weeks. This comes as the Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control and Prevention approves a new plan on who will receive the first doses of the vaccines. Our Astrid Martinez is following that part of the story. She's live outside CDC headquarters with more on what we can expect. Astrid, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Karen. And it was a panel of 13-1 that voted to approve the distribution process, recommending that those constantly battling the coronavirus and the most vulnerable population get the vaccine first. Frontline workers and residents of long-term care facilities are first on the list to receive the COVID-19 vaccines when the FDA gives emergency authorization.
Almost every group that has weighed in on who should receive the vaccine first has identified healthcare personnel at the top of the list.
The CDC reports that 6% of coronavirus cases and 40% of the deaths are coming from long-term care facility residents.
Certainly, this is a group that suffers the greatest burden of disease.
Nearly 860 healthcare workers have died from the virus. The CDC is also reducing the number of days people need to isolate after exposure to someone who is positive for COVID-19.
Look, I think this is a prudent step. I think we should have contemplated this earlier because the reality is most people who get exposed to COVID are going to come down with COVID, who get exposed to coronavirus will come down with COVID within a short period of time.
Currently, those exposed are required to quarantine for 14 days. New recommendations would bring that down to 7 days if they receive a negative test or 10 days without getting tested.
Putting in place a 10-day quarantine period, even a 7-day quarantine period, you're going to capture the vast majority of infections within that time frame.
And now the CDC just gave us an update moments ago, letting us know that the reduction in quarantine time is only for people that have not shown any symptoms in the time that they've come in contact with someone who has had COVID-19 positive results. Now, they still recommend 14 days quarantine if you are showing symptoms. We're going to have more on this developing story in our later newscast. For now, I'm live in Fulton County. Astrid Martinez, CBS 46 News.
All right, so results for asymptomatic people. Astrid, thanks so much.